Welcome to Mysteries, Myths, and Legends. I'm Taylor.
I'm Savannah.
And welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Happy Wednesday. I was going to say something else, but then I couldn't think of one.
Yeah, it's just, it's typical Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to think of how to start this. It was my brain immediately went blank.
I did have something. I wonder if we're ever going to, feel comfortable enough to not introduce ourselves in the beginning, Well,
I like to introduce ourselves just in case, we have a random straggler just listening to one of our episodes. Like, maybe they want to know my name.
No, you're right. Like, we definitely have new people every time. So, welcome if that's you.
Yeah. Shout out to you. Thanks for listening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but if you're not new, just transition real quick.
Yeah.
So, if you listened to our episode last week, we somehow came upon the conversation of why it's called sanatoriums, like asylums, right? So I was like, okay, I need to figure this out because I was just curious. So I did. The word sanatorium is actually derived from the word sanitas.
Okay.
I did not look up what language that was, but however, it means health and to cure and to heal.
Oh.
So I mean, it just makes complete sense why it's called that. So I don't know why it's like. I guess in the same way, like sanitary still kind of use that. It kind of because it means like healthy, you know. So makes sense. So if you were curious, there you go. Yeah.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. I'm glad I know that now.
Yeah, same. Because it's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so if you also don't mind, would you go rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, please? And thank you.
If you need to, you can pause us and we'll be right here.
Yeah, we'll wait for you. Moment of silence. I'm just kidding. But
I do have one more thing that I'm going to a concert next week, and I'm so excited.
Who are you going to see?
Rex Orange County.
I already knew that, and I'm mad about it, so it's fine. No, it's going to be so amazing. It's going to be so fun.
I know. I'm pretty excited about it.
I'm so jealous.
I think the next episode we'll record after that concert.
Oh yes, we can get the update.
Yeah.
On how good it was.
I'm really excited about merch because that's like a big part of concerts.
Oh, for sure.
Get a t-shirt.
Yes.
I don't know what his looks like at all. I didn't really look up what the tour stuff is.
Oh, yeah, true.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm so excited for you. I wish I was going. But
you're trying to go to a concert. I mean, I guess I might try too, but
I sure am. Harry Styles corner of the week.
Yes, of course.
His album is coming out. Oh my goodness. When you guys hear this, his album is coming out in 9 days. And so in 9 days, I'm trying to find a way to procure a ticket to go see his one night only in New York City. So if anybody out there knows any way to get that for me, I would love you forever.
Yeah, so we'll see if that happens.
We'll see. I'm trying to manifest it for myself. Because we are recording like way in the past now that you're listening to this. Mm-hmm. So I'm manifesting it for myself that I'm going to get this ticket and get to go see him. So we will update you on that.
Yeah, I feel like it can happen. We'll see.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyways, I don't really have anything else.
Yeah, no, that was it for me. Okay, so I guess we can get started.
Let's do it.
So this week I have some Norse mythology.
Oh, we love a good mythology.
Mm-hmm. I don't think we've really talked about this type of mythology before on the show. I've done some like Roman mythology.
Yeah, definitely maybe some Greek too, but
or maybe that's what it was. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
Over there. And so Norse, if you don't really know, that's like the Vikings and
yes. If you didn't know, I went to a high school called North Forsyth, and the mascot was a Viking, so I did happen to know that.
But there you go. Maybe you probably know all about it then.
Oh yeah, I'm an expert on all things.
Okay, so I'm going to be focusing on Valkyries.
Oh, OMG.
So do you know what they are?
Yes, I do. But you just go ahead and tell the audience.
Yeah. Well, I'll get to that, but I'm also going to focus on one in particular in a little bit. But yeah, I guess we'll get to that too. But okay, so Valkyries they are like the chooser of their name translates to chooser of the slain, so they like choose where you go in the afterlife.
Wow, that's a very important job.
Yeah, it is. And I do have like a little quick background with the main two gods that we focus on, because of course Norse mythology is like, what is the word for it where you have many gods?
I did. You know what? I would have known at any other moment than this very second that you just asked me that question.
No, I know, me too. Well, anyways, they have many gods, but the main one that people talk about a lot is Odin.
Yes.
Of course.
Of course.
A lot of people know Odin. So he is like the main one. I don't know if he was like still the main one back then, but like he definitely is in today's world. And he is the god of war, but also of wisdom, healing, death, royalty. He's the god of the gallows. Knowledge, battle, victory, sorcery, poetry, frenzy, and of the runic alphabet. So like everything.
I think the better way to put that is he's pretty much the god of just about everything, except for just a handful of other things.
Yeah.
Oh, also the word is polytheistic.
Oh yes, it is polytheistic. So yeah, Odin pretty much a lot of things. He rules over Valhalla, which is one of the afterlives, and he fathered many sons. He is the father of Thor, of course.
Of course.
So like that's where, if you're a Marvel fan like us.
Yeah, it's been eating my soul alive just to say. I know only all of this because of Marvel, so.
Yeah. See, I did look up a little bit about Marvel versus like the actual stuff, and some of it is accurate, but not all of it.
For sure.
And, in Marvel, Loki and Thor are Odin's sons, but in like the real mythology, Loki isn't really his son at all. Like not even like adopted or anything like in Marvel. So that's sort of made up. But they are in like some stories together. So like there's that. But there's a big difference. Also, a fun fact about Odin, Wednesday is actually named after him. So, it actually comes from, like, the original thing was Day of Woden, so, like, with a W.
Okay.
And then it translates to Day of Odin, obviously, so then it's Wednesday. It, a long time ago, so it changes over the years, but it is Odin's day, the day this comes out.
No, that's okay. First of all, that's wild. I did not know that.
No, I didn't either. I saw that. I was like, that's kind of crazy.
No, actually, we did it on purpose. JK.
Yeah, definitely. Just for this one episode after all of these. So that's a little background on Odin. And then I'm going to talk about Freya. So she is the goddess associated with war as well. So the two war gods are Odin and Freya. And then she's also associated with beauty, love, fertility, gold, and magic for seeing the future.
Ooh, okay, Freya.
So, yeah. That's a little background on Freya. So both Freya and Odin have like their own afterlives. And I think I get into it. Okay. So half of the people go to Odin's afterlife, Valhalla, and then the other half go to also the words in this story are going to be a little rough.
I bet.
But let me try to get it. Half of them go to Freya's afterlife, which is called Folkvagner. So yeah. And some people say that the leaders of like war go to Valhalla, and then the other half go to Folk Wagner. But it could also be just like a random choice.
Interesting.
The Valkyries are the ones who pick who they want for each god. And only the warriors go to either one of those. The regular people who die of old age or disease, they go to Helheim, which is overseen by the goddess Hel.
Okay, so is that like hell?
No.
Okay, well that's good at least.
No, I think it's just like, it's just like the regular afterlife. It's not really anything special.
Okay, well I mean, at least it's not hell.
Yeah. I don't think so, at least. If I'm wrong about that, I'm sorry, but I don't think so.
Whatever her name is that rules hell.
Hel. Her name's Hel.
Oh, okay, sorry, Hel.
Hel, 1L.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. So in Valhalla, they, like, the people who go there, when they go there, they become Anhiriar.
And
like, that's...
here we are? That's exactly...
Yeah.
Wow.
That's their name, like, once they get in there. And that's because they turn into sort of, like, a army for Odin.
Okay.
So the Inhiriar are, like, the army for Odin for Ragnarok.
Wow. Okay. This is so crazy because it really is, like, tying into Marvel, but only, like, a little.
Yeah, it is. So if you don't know what Ragnarok is, it is like the end of the world, basically.
The apocalypse. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. So it comes from a word meaning the fate of the gods or like the fate of mankind. And, to put it lightly, it's the cataclysmic destruction of the cosmos and everything in it.
So light. So fresh.
And to describe it more, part of it is that, like, there's, like, a winter that would last for the time of 3 winters with no summer in the middle or anything. And nothing would be able to grow, and everyone would starve and struggle for survival.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's kind of bad. And basically, like, everybody's, like, suffering and stuff, and then the gods will go to battle. And Odin will take the Einherjar with him to fight. And I believe Freya will take her army too, but I don't know. I think the people in Valhalla are the ones who are really, like, trying to fight. And according to the prophecy, they don't win.
Oh.
But they still prepare.
Okay.
They're still like, well, maybe we'll win. I don't know.
I mean, they have to try, I guess,
Yeah, exactly. And when they're not preparing for Ragnarok, the Valkyries will serve them and give them mead in Valhalla, which is an old type of beer.
Yeah.
And it's actually, I think it's beer made from, like, honey.
Ooh, that's cool.
It's interesting. I wonder what that would taste like.
Probably disgusting, just like all of it, other beer. I'm a beer hater, though.
I mean, I like it, but...
Weirdo.
Yeah. So, back to Valkyries a little bit. Valkyries, they also... So, when they're not, like, picking who goes to what afterlife, they also appear as, like, the lovers of different heroes and stories and the lovers of, like, mortals. And they're sometimes daughters of royalty, and in stories they're accompanied by ravens or connected to swans or horses.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah. So I guess if you see, like, they're just like a symbol for the Valkyries, like ravens, swans, and horses. So I'm going to focus on one in particular and tell her story a little bit. And her name is Brynhild.
That's a pretty name. Call her and Bryn for short. That's what I would personally call her.
Honestly, I might, because I might forget how to say it halfway through. I have, like, a little pronunciation spelled out next to it.
Love that.
I did for a few of these words. So Brynhild, or Bryn, her story it sort of reminds me of Sleeping Beauty. At least in the beginning. So she was a Valkyrie who disobeyed Odin's orders.
Ooh.
Yeah, she, Odin had promised this one king, Helmgunnar, King Helmgunnar, he promised him that he would, like, get a victory in war, but Brynhild struck him down, and, like, he didn't get his victory.
Oh, no.
So Odin's like, why did you do that? Like, I'm
Right.
punishing you, obviously. So he put her to sleep on a bed on the mountain Hinderfell, which I think is a real mountain, but he put her to sleep on this bed up there, and the bed was surrounded by an eternal fire.
Oh, okay. Honestly, I was waiting for something like that to come.
Yeah, it gets a little crazy, It always does in these stories. So she was to sleep there until a hero that was fearless rode through the flames to wake her up.
Okay, so now all I'm picturing is Shrek.
No, I was just going to say, there was also a dragon, so it's
Stop.
giving Princess Fiona vibes,
really
definitely.
giving Fiona.
I have that written here.
That's really funny.
Yeah. So, definitely Sleeping Beauty, definitely Princess Fiona. Yes. And then after this, it kind of doesn't really fit that story anymore, but it's okay. So this guy named Sigurd, I don't remember how to say his name. Sigurd, he rode through the flames actually twice.
Oh.
So
Wow,
he was pretty brave. So the first time he went through, he killed the dragon, and he took the dragon's treasure. And he went through, and Brynhild woke up and immediately fell in love with him. Like, they fell in love with each other.
Yeah.
But he said, like, I can't take you with me.
Why
which
not?
I'm like, I don't know why you didn't take her, but okay.
I mean, is that not the whole reason that he went there?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know why he decided not to. But he says, oh, I have stuff to do first.
Okay.
I know. It's like, why? But he leaves her there, and he says, okay, I have to go do these tasks, and then I'll come back for you.
Okay.
And she said that she would wait for anybody, like, the first person who comes through the flames, she would marry. And she, like, assumed it would be him. So she was like, okay, whoever comes through, I'm going to marry, I promise. And before he left, he gave her a ring.
Oh.
So, like, a proposal ring, engagement, or
ring?
an engagement ring, or, like, a promise, or I don't know, something like that. And so he leaves, and then she's just, like, waiting around, I guess. I couldn't find out, like, how much time was in between, but he does end up going through again, but in the time it took, like, the time in between, which I'm guessing was, like, a few months to a year, like, I don't even know, like, a long time, he forgot that he was betrothed to her.
This man, what the heck is going on with him?
Okay, it's not really his fault, though. I'll tell you why. So, he had a potion given to him that gave him amnesia.
Okay.
This lady, Grimhild, she gave him a potion that gave him amnesia. And then she was like, okay, well, you should marry my daughter.
She did it on purpose. Wow.
Yes. So he's like, okay, sure, I'll marry your daughter. So then Sigurd, he, like, is betrothed to Gudrun, this other lady.
Yeah.
And she has a brother named Gunnar, and he wants to marry Bryn.
Okay.
So, but he's not brave enough to go through the flames.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's lame.
No, I know. It's like, well, then I guess you're not brave enough to marry me.
Exactly.
Like, if you're not going to go through the flames to get me.
Exactly.
It's just... No, that is literally like Shrek, though, too.
Yeah, it is.
Because the king wants to marry Fiona,
but he sent Shrek. Yeah, you're so right.
They definitely got this story.
Dude, this is literally, wow. Savannah's pranking me. This is just the story of Shrek.
No, it's really not. I
No, I
swear.
know.
It's a real...
No, I know. Wow. That's
Somebody
really
out there is listening and they're like, yeah, I've heard this story before. And I know. But that's... Oh, wow. I never even knew. Shrek is based off of a Norse myth. Wow.
I'm sure.
So anyways, he was not brave enough to go through. So he tells Sigurd to disguise himself. So he gets like some magic so he can look like Gunnar and go through the flames to get her.
Okay, so at this point, does Sigurd still not remember that he was...
Yeah, he still doesn't remember.
Okay. Got it.
And he so he decides, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go through because
I mean, yeah,
I'm already gonna marry someone else, and I'm brave to go through it. But
and that's basically his brother-in-law about to be.
Yeah.
So he's
exactly.
I'll help you.
Exactly. So he goes through, and she's sort of disappointed because she's like, well, I was waiting for Sigurd. But I mean, I guess I'll marry you because I promised I would marry the first person who came through the flames. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So she leaves with him, and then they get married. She doesn't know. She doesn't know that it's him.
He's still wearing the disguise.
Yes, he's has this it's like a potion of magic that makes you look like the other person.
Okay, so he didn't know how long it was gonna last.
Yeah, so
got it.
Then I guess I don't know. She just doesn't find out. Mm-hmm. And also though, a little bit of drama. Bryn, she was pregnant when she was in the flames still.
Okay, that's tea.
With Sigurd's child.
No, what?
Yeah.
What? Okay, wait, this is really wild.
Because the first time he went through the flames, something
got
happened.
It. Wow. Oh, something happened, all right. Okay, Sigurd. Okay.
Yeah. And they had a daughter. The daughter's name is Oslog. Which is I still don't know if I think I'm saying them right. Mm-hmm. Oslog. And she actually left Oslog with her sister's husband, which I don't really know why she did that. But she's like, I'm just gonna get rid of this baby real quick. And then anyways, later, I guess once they were already married and everything, later down the line, Bryn, she started arguing. I love her little nickname we gave her.
I know, me too.
Bryn was arguing with her sister-in-law, Gudrun, and they were like, which one of our husbands is the bravest?
Oh, well, wait. Are they both married to him?
No, because Bryn, the girl who was in the flames, she's married to Gudrun's brother.
Okay, yeah, Gunnar. Yeah, right.
And then
this is a mess. Got it. Is married
to Sigurd. Yes. So she basically stole her man.
Yeah, she
did. Now they're in-laws.
This is a big old yikes.
It really is. Why are all it doesn't matter which culture it comes from. All mythology like this, it's just so much drama.
I mean, I feel honestly, that's just every family. Every family has so much drama.
No, you're right.
And you know what? True. It's never changed. The ancient gods, even them, they have drama too.
Yeah. That's so true. I feel like I need to dig deeper into these families because
this is literally wild.
Let me know if you guys like mythology stuff because I like going into it.
For sure, me too.
Okay. So
they were
arguing. Yeah, they were arguing over who was braver. Mm-hmm. But
we all know the answer to that question.
Yeah, but Gudrun, she knew something that Bryn she didn't know. Mm-hmm. That Bryn, her husband had never went through the flames.
Yeah. Yep.
And Gudrun, she was like, well, my husband went through twice, so so he's braver. And she's like, what?
Right.
So she ended up telling her that Sigurd was the one who had went through the flames both times and that she'd been fooled. And to prove it, she brought out the ring that
that he
gave her because he took it back.
Wow.
So
wow.
Yeah, she basically proved it to her.
Really, the joke's on her because she already had his baby.
No, true. Honestly, that's another thing. In these stories, everybody's just having babies with each other.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. So she was obviously mad. Bryn was mad, so she wanted revenge, of course.
As she should.
She told her husband that Sigurd had tricked her into sleeping with him by pretending to be Gunnar. And so her husband, he was like, okay, well, now I want revenge.
Wow.
So, yeah. So this was not true, by the way. Like, she lied about this.
Okay.
Because she was saying, like, oh, yeah, like, he came to get me, but, he slept with me. Mm-hmm. But that didn't happen. That only happened the first time.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, the first time it's not really cheating.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not.
But yeah, she just told him that to get him mad. And he could not, like, he wanted revenge, but he couldn't kill him. He couldn't kill Sigurd because of, like, a vow of brotherhood.
Okay.
But his brother could kill him because, like...
Because they don't have a bond, a brotherhood bond exactly. Or whatever.
Yeah. So they did, he died.
Wow. Okay.
And then Bryn was like, haha, I was lying to you.
The savagery.
Right. The savagery. Like, but also, this is what I don't get, is that she was, like, overcome by grief and killed herself at the funeral. Okay. I was like, what did you want to accomplish here? Because I thought you were trying to get revenge.
Wow. Okay, maybe she didn't think he was going to go that far.
Right. Like, I'm thinking maybe she wanted revenge on Gunnar, so that's why she, like, told this lie, but then she's like, he got too mad,
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense.
Maybe that's what it was. But yeah, she was like, no, this is too much for me. I gotta end it here. And she actually asked for her body to be burned in the same pyre as Sigurd because she loved him so much.
Wow. And did they?
Yeah, I think so. And if you don't know, a pyre, like, the Vikings and, like, all those people, all those people, that culture, they would, like, they wouldn't really bury their dead. They would have a pyre and, like, I guess cremate, but before cremation was a thing, you just laid it on fire. So yes. So she wanted to, lie with him.
Yeah. They ended up together after all.
Yeah.
In the end. I still don't understand, like, why he didn't just take her the first time. He could have avoided this entire mess.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know why. He's
I
like,
really don't understand.
I'll be back.
He's like, just wait for me. Just, like, 1 year. Like, you've been in this tower. Like, you're chilling.
Right. Like, what was so important that you had to do?
Literally nothing.
So, yeah, that happened. And I feel like, also, she'd like, been married to this other guy this whole time, and then she realized that the other guy was, like, the one who actually got her out. Yeah. So she decides, oh, actually, I really love him so much. Yeah. Like, did you decide last minute that you were in love with him?
Exactly. Like, right. Like, girl. Also, who cares who saved you? Like, it...
I mean, I kind of get it, but...
No, I mean, I get it, too. But also, no, yeah. I just have so many questions.
Yeah, it's a crazy story. Also, part of this, she also seemed to be able to see the future through her dreams. Oh. So most of what happened, she had already predicted in her dreams. So I don't know how she didn't really see this coming, because I mean,
did she just think it was a dream? I mean, she was probably like, wow, that's crazy. That's a crazy dream. Because it's a crazy story.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, Lord, if I believed my dreams, that would be horrifying.
True. No, I mean, I did have a dream one time that I met Harry Styles, so we hung out.
Okay. And that's manifesting for a couple weekends from now.
Yeah, see? No, but yeah, that's pretty much the story.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
The story of Bryn, she's crazy.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah, honestly, I think every single one of those people are crazy.
No, I know.
Like, wow.
Like, there's probably so much more I could get into with these, but I was like, let me just...
Yeah, no, wow. Keep it. And so she was a Valkyrie?
Yeah, originally she was a Valkyrie.
Wow.
And then I guess since she disobeyed him, she really
fell off the horse. Literally, probably, as well.
Yeah.
On that one. That's a L. She took a big L.
Yeah, she did. But she was basically Princess Fiona for a little bit, so...
I mean, that job kind of sucks.
Yeah. I don't know. Also, just about Valkyries in general, that job seems like it's...
Okay. That's a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Yeah.
First of all.
Yeah. You have to, like, split 50-50 all of these warriors between Odin and Freya. Like, how do you choose that?
How do you? I have no idea. That's also crazy, though, because, like, in Marvel, the Valkyries are the warriors. So I think that's a very interesting take on it.
That's true. Yeah. I kind of forgot about who the Valkyries were in Marvel until you just said that. But yeah. Maybe... I think they do fight a little bit. But, like, they're mostly the ones who just choose.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow, that's so wild. I love mythology like that. Like, it's so cool.
Yeah. Oh, also, I don't know if I mentioned, but Valkyries, they're all women, too.
Oh, of course.
So.
Yeah, and, like, as I said way earlier, my high school, we were the Vikings, but the dance team, we were the Valkyries. So.
Oh, that's cute. I love that.
Yep. Cuties. So, technically, am I one? Kinda.
I mean, I guess so. You're both. You're a Viking and a Valkyrie.
Yeah, literally.
You get to choose your own fate. Wait,
Yay.
That's poetic.
Okay, that's... Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, love that. Well, okay, we're just moving completely opposite side of the spectrum.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
I think you said this was crazy this week.
This story is so insane. Like,
I mean, mine was kind of insane too, but
no,
probably in a different way.
Not kind of. Your story was very insane. But, okay, so this week, for you, I have the legend of the Orton Hotel. Oh. So, yeah, I had never heard of that either.
You could just tell by my...
Yeah, yeah, no. So, this legend is actually another one from Wilmington, North Carolina, which is where I live. And I found this story in the book that me and Savannah got while we were together one time here. And it's written by a man named, John Hirchak, who lives here and, like, just studies, like, all types of legends and myths and stuff, like, from specifically this area. So, yeah, if you want to check out that book, it's called Ghost of Old Wilmington by John Hirchak. It's very good. I would definitely recommend. It's especially this story. Honestly, every story I've read so far has been wild from that book. So, yeah, I guess let's just hop right on in it. So, the Orton Hotel was an extremely, like, lavish, grand hotel, very luxurious. And it opened in the spring of 1888.
Oh.
Right here in downtown Wilmington. It was a 5-story brick building, and it had over 100 rooms, which, I mean, at the time, that's pretty big.
Especially if are they, like, really high ceiling? Type of
I don't
place?
actually know, but it was very bougie. Like, it was the bougiest hotel. And actually, at the time, it was billed as the finest and most luxurious hotel in North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
So,
see, I'm feeling like it's giving Bridgerton vibes, right?
It's giving...
Or no?
You know what?
Is it not?
Okay, I can't even explain to you right now what I have to say. So you're going to have to just wait for later on that question because
Okay.
I can't spoil anything too early.
Right.
It's giving Bridgerton a little bit. More creepy, like America-y, but same vibe.
Yeah. No, that's why I said high ceiling, because they have, like, those houses that are, like,
For
huge.
sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so not that big, but, like, still pretty fancy. So the entrance to this hotel was also just as bougie as you would imagine. It actually had a 2-story veranda that stretched across the entire building. And if you don't know what a veranda is, it's basically just like a really, really huge balcony.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah. Fancy.
Like a wraparound porch.
Yeah. Kind of, but, like, this one was just, like, bougier than that. Like, very fancy. Very fancy.
Yeah.
And so, as nice as it was on the outside, it was even more nice and fancy on the inside. The lobby was finished completely in stone and ornately carved hardwood. There was an elevator, which was very, like, it was just becoming, like, a thing to get elevators. So, like, that was fancy. And it was heated by steam, and it had tons of fancy lighting, which is also not very common for the time. Mm-hmm. So, and obviously, like, that doesn't really sound too fancy today, but, you know, back then it was a huge deal to have all of these things.
See, sometimes when I hear about these, I'm like, I kind of want to be able to experience that.
I know.
But it would probably feel like you were in such a trash place.
No, 100%.
Just because we have such better technology now. But I'm like, I kind of just want to, you know,
I know.
go back in time for a minute.
Me too. Okay, so not only did this hotel, like, look very nice and new, but there were also a lot of, like, amenities that drew people to stay here as well. So the basement of this hotel was absolutely poppin'. It had a barber shop, a bakery, a kitchen, a laundry room, a billiards room, and a bar. So, like, this basement of this hotel was where you were trying to be. Mm-hmm. And even though this place, you know, built to the tens, like, very fancy, very bougie, very expensive too, and very well built. However, it was not susceptible to all of the elements. And tragically, on January 21st, 1949, like around 50, 60-ish years after it was built, at 12:20 a.m., a fire broke out at the hotel and started to very quickly spread and this is just horrible. It directly spread to the stairs and the elevator shaft.
Oh, yikes.
So there was just, like, literally no escape, except for unless you were on the first floor. So the people on the first floor, you know, they got out. The people on the second floor actually ran and jumped off the veranda. Survived. They all survived that jumped off the veranda. Because, I mean, it was still only on the second story, you know.
Yeah.
Like, they could survive. I'm sure there were injuries, but they were okay. But the rest of the people, so from the floor 3 to 5, were absolutely stuck. So they all made their way up to the 5th floor because there was literally no other option. And just was like, you know, went to the roof, like, help me, you know, trying to wave people down. And so the Wilmington Fire Department actually brought their longest aerial ladder and shockingly was able to save every single person.
Oh, nobody died in the fire?
So we'll get to that.
Okay.
The manager of the hotel said that every single guest was accounted for, which is literally unbelievable. Like, shout out to the Wilmington Fire Department for that one.
Right, because, like, I don't know, even today I wouldn't be surprised if, like, people died in a fire.
Absolutely not. Like, that's wild. They really got everybody out. So, turns out, not only as crazy that is, the fire caused over $1 million in damage. Mm-hmm. So, you know that was serious. So you may notice that seems a little strange, right? Like, Taylor, why are you talking about a story if I'm saying everybody got out?
Right. Like,
well,
are there no ghosts?
Well, so a short time after the fire, a report was filed. And it said, while everybody was, like, huddled on the 5th floor waiting for rescue, the guests all seemed to witness a dazed man wandering around, like, the smoke-filled hallway of the 5th floor. Like, they were all kind of, like, in one area that, like, the safest place of the 5th floor that, like, wasn't burning at that point, you know? And this man was just like walking around in the smoke chilling. But he looked just like confused or like messed up in some sort of way, you know? Mm-hmm. So obviously they're like screaming at this man, telling him like, come back, come to them. And eventually after that report was filed, many reports were filed from people who were like on the 5th floor. And each person said that they were screaming at him, begging him to come back. But he just kept walking more and more into the smoke until you couldn't see him anymore and he was never seen again.
Oh, yikes. So that's not... I mean, it doesn't sound like they're all accounted for then. Like, where's this guy?
Right. So, but who could that be? Because, as you just said, every single guest was accounted for. That was, like, written down and, like, you know, on the hotel sheet. So, but then you think, like, even if, like, a hotel guest had brought an extra person to the hotel, wouldn't that person notice that their friend was missing? Like, who is this man?
Yeah.
Like, if he was there... He was there with somebody, obviously. Like, he couldn't just be there. Like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Who was he? So, at the time of the fire, a gentleman who actually, like, kept a room at the Orton, like, all the time, he was on his deathbed at the nearby hospital.
Oh.
And the morning of the fire, the dying man's brother, his name was J.R. Mallard, he arrived at the hospital after an all-night train trip because, you know, he was going to, like, see his brother because, obviously, he was dying. Mm-hmm. So he ended up sitting by his brother's side all day at the hospital. And eventually, you know, he was like, okay, time to take a break. Like, let's get out of here. And he didn't have anywhere else to go, but he did know that his brother had a room at the Orton. So he headed over there to stay the night. And so the hotel clerk did not know he was there. Because obviously, like, he didn't need to check in. Like, he had a key to the room.
Oh.
So... As you can imagine, this might be that man. So Mr. Mallard fell into a very deep sleep. Like, immediately when he got up there, he was, like, dead tired because, you know, he had, like, literally ridden on a train all night long and then stayed at the hospital all day with his brother. So he was super tired. So he was asleep, but he was awakened by the screams of all the people who were noticing the fire. Mm-hmm. And obviously he was very unfamiliar with the hotel. And had literally just woken up. He was probably very confused. I mean, I can imagine. Like, you know, when you wake up, you're like, who and where am I?
Okay, also, though, were there, like... I mean, I know they're not going to be the same kind of fire alarms we have now, but did they not have bells or something?
I don't think so.
I wonder when those were, like, invented. That's crazy.
Probably soon after this, because...
Yeah.
Like, I've done a lot of fire stories, and they're all around the same time. So, like, I feel like once a couple of, like... couple hotels burned down. They're like, okay, maybe fire safety is
that's another thing, though. How do they all get out with no fire alarm?
Right. Well, they basically, everybody, from what I have read, they're saying everybody was screaming. So, like, basically, they were the alarm screaming. Yeah. Very scared. So.
Okay, and one more thing. Did you say what time this was?
Yeah. 12:20 a.m. was when it first started.
Okay.
Yes. So... Let's see here. So, so he stumbled out of his room into the hallway. And that's what people think they saw. Like, they saw him stumble out of the room, and that's when he was lost or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, what's interesting, though, is that at the exact time that Mr. Mallard heard the screams of the fire, his brother, who was miles away at the hospital, died.
Oh, no.
So, isn't that... Like, that's just, like, crazy, in my opinion. Like, what are the odds of him dying right then and there?
Yeah.
So,
and also
like, at 12:20. Like, at 12:20, Savannah.
Then, like, nobody knows he's there.
Exactly.
Because only his brother knew.
Yep. And, like, did his brother even know? I mean, like, he was so close to death. Like, I mean, he might have known, but did he, like, really know, you know? Yeah. But at this point, nobody knew.
The exact time? That's insane.
Yeah. So, I don't know. So, it seemed that Mr. Mallard was just very confused about the layout of the hotel. And maybe, like I said, he just woke up and had never been to Wilmington before. So maybe he thought he was somewhere else and was, like, trying to escape that way. And that's why, like, he was not going the right direction. But what confuses me the most is that, I mean, he definitely heard the people screaming because that's what, like, woke him up. So why was he moving in the opposite direction of people saying, like, come here?
What if he was just out of it because of smoke inhalation?
That's a good point too. it definitely could have been that too.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So that's a theory as well. But the most wild theory, I would say, is that did the ghost of his brother play a part of this?
Oh, it could be.
I know. So I don't know, like, their relationship. If it was good, bad, ugly, don't know. But some people think that, like, could he have had something to do with it? I don't know. Could his ghost, like, brother be like, go, come this way? Like, I don't know. I don't know what their relationship was like. But anyway, despite 500,000 gallons of water used to put out the fire, it still took 2 weeks for the building to be cooled down enough to inspect. 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Oh, my God.
Because it was burning for so long. It took
Did it burn down to the ground?
Oh, yeah. Gone. Yep. The roof collapsed, and the 5 floors of brick, everything was now in the basement. It was literally a giant mess. Giant mess. Just a hole in the ground filled with debris. And so what's actually really crazy, though, is that the first item that was ever recovered from the fire was a completely unharmed March of Dimes collection box. Which I'm like, how did it not even get messed up a little bit?
Yeah.
And I mean, there's nothing more to that, but I was just like, that's crazy.
It is crazy.
So, tragically, it wasn't until 27 days later, after the fire, that the body of J.R. Mallard was found. Sadly. Yes. So, trigger warning, just skip like 15 seconds if you don't want to hear about some gross bodily things. Sorry, Savannah, you don't have a choice. But tragically, his body, when they did eventually find it, was found face down on a charred mattress. And the investigators said that the only reason they were able to find him was because of the smell that was coming from his body.
Oh, no.
Which is just horrible. Horrible. And actually, the day that his body was found, news surfaced of a second possible victim who was seen entering the Orton on the night of the fire, but had never been seen since.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun. So at this point, there's 2 people now who have allegedly died in this fire. But so this man, the new man, William Stevens, he was 25 years old, and he worked as a sea hand, like, in Wilmington. And so in this time period, it wasn't, like, uncommon for a sea hand to, like, disappear, like, for some amount of time to, like, drink, like, go on this huge, like, drinking binge.
Oh, jeez.
Which I'm like, okay, what? But, like, apparently it was common. So immediately,
it's a rough life, I guess.
I mean, I guess they're like, man, we gotta get drunk. That's what they were saying. So there was no, like, immediate, like, oh, hey, my coworker's missing. They were like, William, he's just drunk somewhere. Like,
yeah. I mean, yeah, I can see that.
I guess I get it. That could never be today. But what does not make sense is that they didn't question his whereabouts until he didn't show up for a month. Now, I get maybe maximum a week if this was common in the time. But a month? Girl, you're not even going to call him. You're not going to show up to his house, see if he's okay. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's a lot.
Yeah.
But anyway, 1 month after the fire, that's 1 month after the fire now, workers unearthed William's skull, and over the course of 2 days, found 1/3 of the rest of his body.
Oh my God.
To this day, the other 2/3 of his body were never found. And all of the workers and investigators and fire department people, they were all like, that is super weird. Because it wasn't like it was burned. And because even the parts that were burned, like, his skull was still there. Like, where were the rest of his bones?
Yeah, because you would think, I mean, how are you going to just burn half of...
Like, yeah, and you don't. That does not happen.
Like, half of anything.
That does not happen. You know? And, like, he did die in the fire, allegedly. But in my opinion, I'm like, did somebody kill him?
Wait.
And then, like, set the fire? Because I don't know. The cause of the fire, don't know.
Oh, I was thinking... So you're thinking they dumped him and then caused the fire.
Yeah.
Okay. See, that's better than what I was thinking. Was that, like, thinking? They saw the debris from this fire and then just, like, threw him in there.
Okay, well, that too. But they have, like, evidence somehow. Don't know how, because maybe video? Don't know. But people saw him walking into the hotel. So him himself alone walked into the hotel that night.
Okay.
So he was definitely there. So that just makes it even more weird. So it also is kind of a mystery. Said legend, also a mystery. So at this point, investigators now just have even more questions than answers. Because, like, where is the rest of his body? Or at least bones or anything. Like, nothing's there? That's weird. So, but then they were also questioning, like, what was he even doing at the hotel to begin with? And so as an unregistered guest, the first thought of the police is like, okay, maybe he was like meeting up with somebody that maybe he wasn't supposed to be. You know, I don't know. Like anything could really happen at a hotel. Yeah. But then they're like, again, if he was meeting up with somebody, why would they not report him missing? Like, that's weird. It's weird that nobody's like, hi, this man's missing. Even if it was a stranger, I would be like, hi, this man is missing.
Or what if he was going to surprise someone?
Well, that's a good point, too. I don't know. So, so investigators, their thought process is like, okay, maybe something strange is going down, and the person was, like, too embarrassed to say that they were with him. And so I couldn't find anything, but I personally feel like they're alluding to maybe he was, like, gay. And, like, meeting up with a man, and, like, that man didn't want to, like, come out and be like, oh, I was meeting him at the hotel, because, you know, this is the 1940s.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it didn't come out to say that, but that's kind of how I perceive it. But that still does not explain where the rest of the 2/3 of his body is.
No, it does not
explain that. You know, I don't know. Maybe that's just completely wrong.
Or maybe he was meeting up with somebody, and then he got killed, and obviously the murderer isn't going to say anything.
Yeah, that's a good point, because maybe he didn't know who he was meeting up with, and maybe he was just a murderer. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
and then because the murderer is not going to say, obviously, hi, I murdered him.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. So moving on, after the fire, the entire Orton Hotel obviously was in the basement. Okay. But with time, eventually it was rebuilt and the basement opened up once again. So not the entire hotel, just like they basically were just like, let's just keep the basement part. Like, we don't need the whole entire hotel. So they just opened up the basement part, which opened up again. Taylor. Yeah.
Do I know this place?
Maybe.
I'm thinking of a place that's in Wilmington. Okay, I'll just let you keep going.
Yeah, I have never personally been to the basement part, but I have been to what it is today. So.
Okay. Yeah, just keep going.
I know. I was wondering if you were going to ask me where it is.
Because I forgot what that was called. And, okay. Yeah, we'll
I don't think it's what you're thinking of, but I saved it for the end to surprise you where it is. Because you definitely know where it is. So, when the basement reopened, it opened up as a pub, barbershop, and a billiards place. So, kind of exactly like how it was before in the hotel. Just this time, no hotel on the top. So, fun fact. In 1953, in the pool room / billiards room, a man by the name of Willie Mosconi set a world record by sinking 365 pool balls in a row.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, that's fun.
That's crazy. That's
right. A lot. I'm like, wow, I could never. Not my accuracy.
No.
So, but here's the crazy part, okay? Those who were there that day to witness this world record be set said that they felt a guiding presence in the room, almost as if something or someone was helping him.
Oh, dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. So, that may seem strange, okay? But they said that so he would hit a ball and it would teeter on the edge of the pocket, but like stop right at the edge, like, and with absolutely no more energy, no more movement, it would just plop right into the hole.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, okay.
Someone's pushing it.
That's weird. And so the word that people described that as, if they had to describe it as one word, was straight up magical. Like, not normal, just magic. So, still in 1953 was when the unusual occurrences really started happening. Or at least when they started getting reported, because this is when it like reopened. So people's personal objects would move or even disappear. Others felt a presence as if somebody was like sitting beside them, but nobody was there. toilets would flush on their own and water would turn on and off on its own. So those are all like very stereotypical like ghost things, you know, at first. Dun, dun, dun. But so by the 1970s, fast forwarding a little bit in time, the basement kind of stopped being like the spot and eventually just kind of was unused. And there wasn't really a lot of interest in like retreating to like a dark haunted basement, you know, except for, I mean, that's where I'm trying to go. But apparently,
right, like that came back around in today's day and age. But
I mean, actually, it comes back around again. So even before today. Okay. So, especially, and the reason I think that it even died down to begin with was like this was when Wilmington kind of began like really popping off. So there were like tons of new places opening. So that's kind of like why it kind of slowed down a little bit. But it did gain back popularity again in the 1980s when actually the basement was then renovated into 2 separate pubs. One of them called Bessie's and the other one General Longstreet's. So at Bessie's, they actually have a table called Stephen's Corner, which actually paid homage to William, who died in the fire. And that's honestly like really cute, personally, I think. Like they just have a little booth for him and it literally has a sign like Stephen's Corner. For his little ghost to just chill and like know that that's his spot because like they fully believe that his ghost is there.
Yeah, that's sweet.
I know. And it's also just really sad that his ghost is still there. Like, just so sad. So, but once it became 2 separate pubs, way more people started experiencing more ghost things. Nearly all of the workers said that they would feel extremely uncomfortable when they were working alone. But when other people were there, even if it was just like other workers, they were fine. But like the second that they were alone, it felt as if there was always like a presence like directly behind them, which just really creeped them out. And the worst part of that, creepy. No, but what's worse than that is when they would feel the presence when they were alone, they would also like, they would literally feel somebody standing behind them and then they would hear muffled words in a manly voice directly in one of their ears.
Oh no.
But they could never make out what it was saying. So it was just like whispers almost, but it was like they could tell it was a man voice.
Oh no.
So that's just like, I don't even care what he was saying. That is so creepy. Like I would lose my mind. I would lose my mind. So one evening, Bessie's was poppin' as per usual at the time, and there were a group of girls who had gone out for a drink. And one lady from the group had to use the bathroom, so she went to the bathroom, and on her way back, she passed Stephen's Corner. And in that little booth, there was like a very attractive young man sitting by himself, and they had like a little brief conversation, and the guy like introduced himself as Bill. And if you know anything, Bill is short for William, and that's the name of the man.
Yeah.
So yeah, after the short little convo they had, Bill excused himself and said that he had to meet somebody on the 4th floor. So she's like, okay, whatever. She goes back to her friends and they were like, what were you doing? And she was like, what are you talking about? And they were like, who were you talking to? And she was like, literally, what are you talking about? And they were like, okay, yeah, that girl, that's really funny. Like, you really got us on that one. And so she was like, she was like, what, you talking about the man I was talking to? Like, she explains like what he was saying and all that, blah, 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 blah. And so they're like, just turn around. There was nobody in the booth. And they were standing by the door, the only door. So like they would have seen a man leave as well. Nobody was there. So she was like, okay.
I mean, he did say he was going to the 4th floor, but...
Yes, he sure did. So, but that's the funny part, Savannah, is because one of her friends was like, girly pop, are you okay? Because this is a 1-story building.
Yeah, see, there's that. So, I did think about that when you said that, but I was like, maybe I'm wrong. No, I was right.
Yeah, you're right. She was like, there's no 4th floor. So what are you and what is this invisible man talking about? Like, so obviously this woman was very shook to her core. And when I wrote that, I got the most intense like shivers. Like when I read that, I was like, oh, that's horrifying. He was like, oh no, I just got to meet somebody on the 4th floor. There's no 4th floor. But then in my mind now, I'm like, okay, So he was meeting somebody on the 4th floor of that hotel.
Yeah.
So I'm like, can we not, like, who was he meeting? Because this is the person that was not supposed to be meeting somebody.
Yeah, and also, was he... See, like, did he, like, hang out in the basement before that and then went up to meet somebody?
Right. Like, it just leaves me with even more questions than answers. Like, I don't know. But, yeah, so that was the end of that story. But last but certainly not least, I have another personal encounter story. So this incident happens between 2 and 3 a.m. in the pool hall / billiards, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a few workers there, and they were just like cleaning up and trying to close down for the night. And so since this place was literally built in a basement of an old hotel, there are no windows because obviously it's underground. So there is no exterior light. And so especially when the power goes off, it's dark. However, because they know this, there is a power failure temporary emergency, like battery powered light that comes on to allow for safe, like, evacuation. Because at this point, it's like the 1980s, technology has advanced. Mm-hmm. So when the power goes off, these, like, emergency lights come on. However, though, on at least 3 occasions, the emergency light has failed to stop working. And that was just, like, for reasons, whatever, not having to do with ghosts. So it doesn't always work. So that's a little bit scary. So, let me see here. So obviously when this happens, the place is completely pitch black dark, especially if it's in the middle of the night, right? Because there's, there's no light to be had anywhere. So that's exactly what happened. While the workers were cleaning and finishing up for the night, the power went out and the emergency lights did not turn on. So obviously they start panicking a little bit because it's completely pitch black dark and they can't see anything. And, they don't really have phones. Like, there's no flashlights on deck. Like, we would be fine today, but...
See, if they knew that was going to happen, sometimes, like, keep flashlights around.
I know. But they're like, it's happened twice. Like, they're going to come on,
Yeah.
So, they weren't, like, extremely panicking, but they were just like, okay, let's just leave. Like, let's just go. We can finish this tomorrow. And so they're, like, bumping into stuff, trying to find the exit because it's just completely dark. And so I lost my spot. Oh, okay. So they're fumbling around in the dark. Some of them are like getting close to the door or whatever, but still struggling. When one of the workers heard a male voice directly in his right ear, which is the story that everybody has, and he was whispering something. And we still don't know what that voice said because you can't hear like word for word because it's like he's whispering, but it's like not words. It's I don't know how to explain it other than that, but you can tell that somebody's talking and that it's a man's voice.
Okay.
So creepy. And yeah, so and the worker, he was like, no, it fully sounded like somebody, like one of you, my coworkers came up behind me and was whispering in my ear.
Oh.
So yeah, they ran. They did eventually get out and ran as fast as they could out of there. But that is just so creepy.
That is really creepy. Like, even if it is your coworker, it's like, why are you creeping on me?
Literally. And also, like, this ghost isn't even mean. And they are fully, like, well aware that, like, he's there. But, like, that's still so scary. Like, oh, no. No. So, today, the Orton Pool Room and Longstreet's Irish Pub are managed by the same person who owns Fat Tony's. Have you been there?
Maybe. Where is
So, like, you know where Front Street Brewery is?
Yes.
You know the parking lot that we normally park in to go there? Like, the pay to park?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's literally that building right there. Like, basically, that's Fat Tony's parking lot.
Okay. I don't think I've actually been there.
I have been there. I've been there once. I ate there with my family. It's very good food. But I did not know. But I was on, like, the first floor of the restaurant. I did not go in the basement. So, all I gotta say is we have
that basement?
Yeah. Yep. Sure is. And no, it's like the pool room and the Irish pub is down there still. Okay. Open today. So I think we gotta go there next time you're here.
There's a place called Orton's though, downtown.
Yeah. That's this place, the Orton's pool room.
I didn't think it had something on top of it, though. I guess it does.
Well, I think everything in downtown Wilmington has something on top of it.
See, I'm trying to remember. I guess it's been a while since I've been there. But I didn't know.
But
okay,
I don't know.
So
I don't know what
I
it
think
looks
I've been
like.
to Orton's then.
No way.
I haven't been to the restaurant. I've been to Orton's.
Wow, that's crazy.
Because I was like,
well, that's even more.
You started saying, oh, I think you're thinking of a different place. So that's why I was like, oh, I haven't been to this place. But
but that was what you're talking about? Orton's?
Yes, Orton's, wow. And it's a pool room, and it's really creepy because it's old.
Okay,
yes, I've been there.
Savannah, what? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, but did you see his booth? Because it's still there.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's there. And, you know, the one thing that stuck out to me about this place that you didn't really mention, the bathroom is, like, weird.
Okay, well, I heard nothing of the bathroom.
Oh, I mean, it's just, like, not... It's just weird because, like, when you walk in there, there's, like, a toilet that's, like, you have to go up a step or two. It's kind of weird.
That's funny. I've seen bathrooms like that.
Yeah. I don't know because, like, they had to put plumbing underneath of it and they had to, like, put it up on a pedestal almost. But it's, like, you feel like
you're on, on the real throne.
Yes, exactly. So that's what I remember about Orton's.
That's really funny. Okay, so we're going to go back there because I have never been there. Not to the real Orton's.
I haven't been there. I mean, I don't think it was for that long, but I've definitely been there. And then, there's another place connected that you can, like, walk over. And
wow. That's crazy that you've been there. That's cool.
I know. I'm surprised you haven't.
I know. Me too.
So.
Me too. But, okay, so this is the craziest part. Even to this day, people say that they smell a burning odor down in both of the places. And workers and managers have searched and searched and searched. There is no source of the burn smell. And that's probably because it's not there. That's probably because that's the ghost smell from the hotel. Burning down, genuinely. So,
see, and I've been wanting to go back to this place, too, because it was kind of cool. And now that I know the story behind it, I want to go back even more.
Right.
Like,
we're definitely
so cool.
coming. Next time you're here, we're going immediately.
Yeah.
Okay. Last thing. During a recent renovation of the pool room, a worker was walking by Stephen's Corner when he noticed a man sitting alone. Does this sound familiar? Probably. So the worker was like, hey, how you doing, fam? And the man just nodded his head, whatever. And the worker was like, okay, cool. So he just went back to what he was doing, cleaning up, getting ready to open for the day. When he realized, like, oh, wait, nobody's supposed to be in here. We're not open yet. So then he, like, went back out there and was like, hey, man. And then stopped himself when he realized that nobody was there. But the door was locked the whole time. Because it wasn't unlocked because it wasn't open yet. So, like, that was fully William there.
Okay, see, I would just be creeped out, and I would, like, look around to make sure nobody was in there.
Oh, fully. I would not immediately think it's a ghost. I'm like, okay, this person's, like, hiding and trying to scare me now.
Right.
Or like, kill me. I don't know.
I know.
Yeah. But, yeah, that is the legend of the Orton Hotel.
That's, oh my god. I love that.
I know.
I didn't know that was a hotel.
Me neither. I knew nothing. I knew nothing of that story.
Huh.
Which is just so cool. So, yeah, definitely expect a vlog from there, because...
See, I did know that I've been to Orton's, and I knew that it was supposed to be haunted, but yeah, I had no idea about any of that stuff.
Well, there you
also,
have it.
A lot of places in Wilmington are haunted.
Literally
so
every place.
I didn't really think of it first.
Like, yeah.
Until you started describing a pool room and a bar and stuff, I was like, wait, I have been here.
That's so funny. I kind of did figure that you had.
Yeah, because I really forgot it was called Orton's. But, yeah. Yep.
That's so cool. So cool. But definitely go check out our pictures on Instagram. There's a picture I'll post of Stephen's Corner. It's really creepy. It looks creepy because it's so old down there.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Yeah. See, why do old things just seem creepy to us? I guess we're just associated with ghosts.
Mm-hmm. Because the older the thing is, the more haunted it is. That's just common sense.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
But, yeah. Please go rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
And check out our Instagram. And also, we made a link tree. So go look at that. If you're tired of looking for all of our many links, now you don't have to anymore because we have a link tree.
Yep.
Yay. But that's really all I have for you guys this week. What about you, Savannah?
Me too.
Okay, well, I guess we'll see you guys next week.
Okay, cue the music.